There are three fears that all business owners and entrepreneurs have to face and triumph over on a regular basis. So let's talk about those three fears now. Fear number one, financial insecurity. Money, right? Money is the thing that so many people argue with their spouses, that keeps them up in the middle of the night. Am I going to have enough? And will I ever have enough to be able to retire? Will I have enough to fund my next venture? How am I going to get more clients? Am I going to keep the customers that I have? What about refunds? What happens when you have a team? Now all of a sudden you have individuals and families who are relying on you, and you've got that pressure as well. And so here's the thing about money and what I've learned from 20 years of owning a business and being through pandemics and financial crises and recessions and 9/11 and all the ups and downs that you deal with personal health or with the family, all the challenges that you have with marriage and with children, and trying to balance all that. What I found is that the money always seems to be there, right? And no matter how much you worry about not having enough or where it's going to come from or what's going to happen in the future, it seems as though we're always okay. And if we can remember that in those tough times, that I've been through this before, or I've been through situations like this and it's always worked out, then it will help you to get through those uncomfortable times in a more comfortable way. I've had so many conversations with people who were telling me their biggest fears and their deepest secrets, and just being I was there for them as a coach, as a counselor, as someone who could be a support system for them in those tough times. And no matter how dire it got, and I've worked with people who lost millions of dollars, and we're trying to figure out how to bounce back, or people that had like a negative amount in their bank account, right? Who had ran up all their credit card debt and owed tens of thousands of dollars, and some people owed hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yet, in all of those situations, they ended up okay. You could fast forward a couple of weeks or a couple of months or a couple of years, and every single person that I ever worked with ended up financially being okay. We got through it. The money always showed up. And it's always been that way. I never met anybody that ended up on the street. I never met anybody that I was coaching that wasn't able to have a comeback, right? As the great Dr. Willie Jolly always says in his book, a setback is simply a setup for a comeback, right? And I love that. And it's been true. So we all have to deal with those insecurities. It's the people who decide that I'm going to take this as a challenge, that I'm going to use this as an opportunity to grow because I'm almost being forced to, right? It's kind of like this is a situation where I have to do something different. For some of us, it feels like a do or die situation, right? I have to do something different. I and so and so we need to look at the situation and say, hey, you know what? I can't keep doing the same stuff I've been doing. So I'm going to have to mix it up. I'm going to have to hire that coach that I've been telling myself I can't afford, or I'm going to have to take a class, even though I've taken classes before and it didn't feel like it worked out. I'm going to take a class again one more time, because the most successful people are always doing it one more time. They're always taking one more step forward. Even when everybody else says you're crazy, even when everybody else says you need to forget about it and give up on this dream, the most successful people decide, well, I'm going to take one more action and then we'll see. I'm going to take one more step and then we'll see. I'm going to give it one more shot and then we'll see. And those are the ones that win. Those are the ones that win, because then all of a sudden you're um, that breakthrough, that prayer that you were hoping is going to be answered, that new person, that new opportunity, that new experience shows up almost like as a reward. It's kind of like God's like, I'm holding it for you, but I'm going to see how bad you really want it, and I'm going to put you through all kinds of stuff, and we're going to see if you can hold out. And if you can, I'm going to reward you, and if you can't, then that's going to be an experience that you're going to have to learn and grow from until you get your next shot. Right? And so I've learned to just go for it, and then it'll be okay. Right. So that's number one, the financial insecurity. We're always got to be focusing on what we can do. And sometimes being challenged is what allows us the opportunities to grow. I mean, when I think about all the opportunities for growth that I've had, they usually, those growth periods followed something that was bad in my life. Right. So I had to close an office, but then that caused me to go uh, improve my skill set, improve my communication skills, and improve my unconscious beliefs. And then that allowed me to open another office in another city, or to go do something different. So instead of seeing clients, I started working with corporate companies, right? And so then I developed a whole new set of skills because I was working with companies, which is a different animal than just doing one-on-one sessions. And so it allowed me to step up my game. So that's something that you can do. Okay. You can think about, all right, I might be struggling here, but it's going to force an opportunity for me to be able to do something else that I hadn't even considered was an option yet. The second fear is uncertainty. And it's kind of like the same thing. We constantly have to deal with uncertainty. In fact, I think entrepreneurs do a better job of managing uncertainty than anybody else on the planet, because we have no idea what's actually going to happen, but we keep putting ourselves out there anyway. And that ability to expand your comfort zone and get out of your comfort zone on purpose, intentionally, regularly, builds character. It allows you to grow in unbelievable ways. And you can tell the entrepreneurs from everybody else in a room, because no matter what happens, the entrepreneurs are looking at the situation as, how can we use this to grow? How can we use this to our advantage? When everybody else is panicking, we're thinking of opportunity, right? When everybody else is thinking this is a terrible thing, we're thinking about what's good about this, right? How can we use this to our advantage? Because everything in life really is uncertain. You can have a plan for how you want things to go, and you have certain beliefs, ideas that you feel are true. However, we can't predict the future. We never know what's going to happen. And I don't know about you, but every year of my life is so full of events that were unexpected. So many changes, so many things that went down that were not in the plan, from moving and having a death in the family, and reinventing my business again. I mean, none of those things were in the cards. I knew my kid was going to go off to college, but I didn't know what college he was going to go to, right? And so or what experiences he was going to have. And so that makes life fun, right? That's a belief that you don't know what's going to happen, and it can be fun. A lot of people go through life feeling like, I don't know what's going to happen, so I have to be afraid, right? I don't have control. But you do have control over your beliefs about how you view uncertainty. So I think it's fun. I always use the same example, that if you knew the ending to every single movie, would it be as fun to go to the movies? Probably not, right? Like, I'm going to go take my family in a little bit to see the Haunted Mansion movie. And we're big Disney fans here in the Sure household. And so we're going to go see that movie, even though we've seen it a bunch of times, but it's a new, different versions of that. And so we're going to go see this one, and I don't know how it's going to end up, but I just assume it's going to be fun, right? We're going to have a good time, so we're going to go find out. If I already knew the ending, it wouldn't be as exciting. And so I kind of view that for life as well. It can feel stressful. However, not knowing is part of the fun. Variety is one of our essential human needs, and the need for uncertainty can be very healthy. So let's view it in a way that empowers us. And then, of course, the third part is balancing life and work, right? Work-life balance, which it never really is quite a balance. It's more of a seesaw. Sometimes you're leaning in more towards your business. Sometimes you're leaning more in towards your health and your relationships, but you're always working to have that balance, because you can't be 100% in different areas at the same time. And so as long as you keep regrouping, as long as you keep reconnecting with yourself and with your in your marriage and with your children, because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. I know that for a long time, I wanted to make sure that I made a bunch of money, because that's how I felt safe. And that's how I felt I was protecting my family. But your family doesn't care if you have a bunch of money if they have no connection with you. And so you got to make sure that you are always making sure that you're spending time with your spouse, you're making time for your children, and you are, showing up for those activities, because it makes a huge difference. Okay, so so those are the three areas where we've got to constantly be pushing ourselves, where we've got to keep building ourselves up. And I have a lot of opportunities where you can join me in doing this, right? Where we can increase your confidence, increase a sense of certainty inside of you, and give you a roadmap and a plan and the support that will help you to grow your business and build the life of your dreams. So we've got our One Belief Away practice accelerator programs that I do usually once a week or once every 2 weeks, every single month. And so you can check out the links below and join me for the next one of those. And then, of course, our 3-day event, Practice Amplifier, where we're going to amplify your business, take it to the next level, not just giving you the best marketing strategies for what's working right now, but also eliminate any blocks that are in your way. You know, that's what makes this program special, is that we will find any unconscious beliefs that are interfering with your ability to follow through and take massive action and eliminate them. Imagine if you had blocks that weren't there anymore, what could you accomplish? And so we do that during the 3-day event, which is extraordinary. And so you can check that out with the links below as well. So I hope this helps and give you a little inspiration today. I always believe in you. I do. And remember, you're just one belief away from your next huge breakthrough. Talk to you soon. I guess I'm going to keep talking to you. I can't get my video to stop.